Yeah, there's only 2 and chips.
All right. Well, I just wanted to thank you, ladies, for being with me today for my presentation about Lexia Core 5 and the reading levels. Trisha, if you wouldn't mind to press next. I think just the arrow. Where? Just the arrow on the keyboard. Oh. Thank you. All right. So the agenda for today is the PowerPoint presentation. Any questions you might have? And then just a quick review and to discuss. Okay. All right, this is the table of contents for this presentation. I have my vision statement, then my peer-reviewed articles, my first intervention, and then my intervention modified, the analysis of the data, and then next steps and any misconceptions I might be able to clear up for you. All right, so my vision statement was to, within 3 weeks, have students move 1 reading level with the help of Lexia Core 5 and small group reading times, which we do during our daily 5. All right, so my first peer-reviewed article came from Lexia's website, and this article focused in on 3 different studies showing that Lexia reading improves early literacy skills when used with classroom instruction. So what we're doing now, it says it shows great growth. Students in the control group were constantly outperformed by those who used Lexia reading. The study also focused in on low-performing students in kindergarten. These students made significantly greater gains than the control group. The test focused in on phonemic awareness, literacy skills, letter sounds, comprehension, and word reading, and the students that did Lexia outperformed the control group by 5 points. Next article. The next article I found was students using Lexia Reading Core 5 make dramatic reading gains. This study showed that 75% of high-risk students gained 2 or more grade levels by the end of the year. So this was from the beginning of the year until the end of the year. Of these 75%, 32% gained 3 reading levels, and 43% reduced or closed their achievement gap. And I think that's a great thing. That shows the great use of Lexia. And I don't know if we've seen that quite yet, but I think we'll eventually see it. Next article, or next slide, please. And then my last article was from the Journal of Research and Reading. This study looked at high-risk elementary students who were in 1st grade, and this is why I picked this article, because it really related to us. Students who completed Lexia made greater gains than those in the control group who did not. Students closed the performance gap when compared to those who were in the control group. So just like the article before, it shows the great gains that you can make. Research showed Lexia advanced reading skills in many at-risk elementary students, which I don't know about you all, but the gains I've seen for my students this year who have had a little bit of Lexia from last year, it shows a lot of growth. Next article, or next slide, please. All right, this is my data prior to intervention. And you all know the reading levels, but I said it's based on Fontes and Pinnell and through our small reading groups. A through C is below grade level. D through F, or A through C is drastically below grade level. That'd be kindergarten. D through F is below grade level. G through I is on grade level. And J through L is above grade level. So at the beginning, I had 4 at A through C. B through F, I had 6. G through I had 4. And J through L, I had 1. And I need to make it clear that I only picked 15 students to focus on. Picking all 23 would be way too much, and I don't think I would have had enough time. So I just wanted to make that clear. All right, for my intervention 1, I met with students 15 minutes 3 times a week for 1 week. During this time, we worked on basic sight words, letter sounds, reading books on their specific level. Students were given 15 minutes daily to complete Lexia Core 5 during their daily 5 time. And during this time, students worked on iPads or my classroom computers to complete their designated times, and all students in the group were expected to have 60 minutes of Lexia time throughout the whole week. Jen, if you go to the next slide. So this is my intervention 1 data. As you can see, I had 4 from A through C, and it dropped to 2. For D through F, I had 6 at the beginning, and then it went down to 5. G through I, it stayed the same with 4, and J through L went from 1 to 4. And I think that big jump was because a lot of my students were already at I, so now then they moved to J. So that was a little jump, but they were very close to already being at the end. Jen, if you go to the next one, please. All right, intervention 1. After 1 week of intervention, only 4 students showed the growth that I wanted to see. The students who showed growth are students who are high readers, like I said earlier, and they're either on or above level. With help from Lexia Core 5 and daily reading intervention, these students jumped a large amount. And low reading students also showed some growth, but most students did not grow a level. All right, for my modified intervention, I changed it up just a little bit. I met with students for 20 minutes 3 times a week, so I added on 5 more minutes. And during this time, I worked on sight words, letter sounds, reading books on students' level, and Lexia. But this time I changed it, and I used Lexia 5 lessons that were given from the program to help students with their specific area of need. Students were now given 25 minutes daily to complete lessons. Students were expected their weekly completion time was now up to 125 minutes, and they received extra time throughout the day, whether that was in the morning right when they came in or at the end of the day before buses were dismissed. Data, this is just, again, the data prior to the modified intervention, so you'll see the change in the 4 students that showed growth. You can go to the next one. Thanks, Jen. The data after the modified intervention. So A through C stayed the same with 2, and those are my low readers who might not even know their alphabet completely or their sounds. D through F went from 5 to 4, G through I went from 4 to 5, and J through L stayed the same at 4. The data analysis. Of the students, over 50% showed growth in the end. 13% completed drastically below grade level compared to 26% at the end. 33% completed below grade level compared to the 40% at the end. 26 were on grade level, and this percentage did not change, and 26 completed above grade level when compared to 6% at the end. So as you can see, 13%, 26, it changed drastically. So over half the students that were in A through C no longer were. 40% to 33, I dropped 7%. 26% stayed the same, which I was very happy with. And then only 6% at the beginning to 26%. So that rise 20%. So I was very impressed with that growth. And then my next steps and misconceptions. If I were to do this with my whole class, would it change the data that I saw? And I think it would, but the time we have does not allow us to do everything I would want to do. How can I find time to assist all the students? With printing all the Lexia lessons to just meeting with my small groups. I don't think there's not enough time unless I group all my students in larger groups. And then did students show growth because they were so close to moving 1 level up? That was another thing I was concerned about. Were my C readers that close to a D? Or were my F readers that close to a G? So that was one thing that I was worried about. My next steps would be to think about all my different times that I could use with planning, along with how to make printing my Lexia lessons a little bit easier. That's one of my main concerns also, because I know that takes a lot of time to print those out and to meet with students one-on-one. So I'd like to thank you for sitting in on my presentation, and that's it. Thank you.